What's good, bass heads? Let's talk about slap bass and not only demystify it, but make it incredibly easy for you if you've been doing this for a while and you're struggling with the sound, or if you're like, I want to do that too, but I don't know how. I'm going to show you. We need to stop complicating it, and we're going to do that right now. So here are some important, crucial, even if you will, concepts to know about slap bass or thumping and plucking, whatever you want to call it. At the basis of, or at the base, no pun intended, of this style is the octave, okay? So if we're playing open E, E there, open E, A, or A, right? Other than that, if we're playing a closed shape, there's the shape of an octave. I assume that you've been on YouTube a long time and you know what an octave is and you know what that shape is, right? But that's at the base line of this when we're talking about the fretting hand, okay? Especially in that old disco 70s, 60s and 70s funk. That's just a part of the language that's going to be there. Now, what's important in terms of the fretting hand is being able to move that octave shape freely, okay? Now, just so you know, I have let me turn that mic down a little bit. I have a free course that I'm working on right now, and I'm going to go on and link it to this video. All of the days aren't done just yet, but one of the things I cover is getting this fretting hand together. And so if you would be so kind, sign up for that. Like I said, right now it's free. So, you know what I mean? If all the days, you'll have all the days, you'll have access to it. Anyway, so what we want to be able to do is move this octave shape freely. We want to be able to move our hand freely as one unit. We need to turn the volume up though. One unit, the hand has to move in one unit. Now, I'm not talking about playing the Oompa Loompa stuff like that. You know what I mean? Although sometimes you might have something that plays that. You might have something like that for sure. So that octave shape is one of those basic ingredients. Another basic ingredient of that style in the fretting hand is the hammer-on and the pull-off. Hammer-on, pull-off. Hammer-on, pull-off. Right? Now, let's talk about this hand. First off, this takes less energy and force than you might think. Truth be told, the lighter you play, the better you're going to sound. Of course, it depends on what it is, right? You know, when we see Louis Johnson doing his power thump, thunder thumps thing, that's kind of a special case, and that's sort of like part of his shtick, right? Every bass player has a every bass player that we saw back in the day come up that is in like the Mount Rushmore of bass players had their sort of thing that they did, and he's just like beating the bass like it stole something. You don't have to do that. You don't really see Marcus Miller doing that or a lot of other thumpers doing that, right? They're thumping closer to the bass. So my suggestion is, number one, is to let the amplification and the natural makeup of the instrument do the work, right? What do I mean by the nature of the instrument? I mean that this beautiful modern vintage jazz bass is going to sound different from my mic low. It's going to sound different from a Fender P bass, right? And even though the idea of what I'm doing is going to be the same thing, each one of those basses is going to sound different, all right? But the idea is still the same, right? Now, the next thing, I cannot teach anybody how to thump with their finger, because I cannot do it. I did not learn that way, so I can't help you with that. So I can show you what I know. And what I know is when thumping, thump sort of above and through the string. You see, watch that. Look at my thumb come down to rest on an A string. Same thing there. Same thing there. And also, I'm not emotionally attached to if I miss one. You dig? I'm not emotionally attached to it. So, don't feel like you gotta force that thing. Now, I'm gonna show you like a principle. It's not a rule, it's a principle. Okay? And the principle is that the thumb is going to typically either mirror or complement the drums. Let me say that again, the kick drum. Let me say that again. The thumb is typically going to mirror or complement the kick drum. What I mean by that is sometimes you're going to play exactly what the kick drum is playing. Sometimes you're going to play something that is complementary to that. So here's an example. I'm going to play a drum loop from a song called Stop by Rahsaan Patterson. I'm only going to play the drums and what if I didn't make a note? So you're hearing these principles, you're seeing these principles kind of in action, right? Mirroring the kick drum. Moving the hand freely. I'm also adding slides. And hammer-ons. You see what I'm saying? So if you've watched my channel or if you're new to my channel, you'll notice that around here I like to talk about songs a lot. Listen, there's value in theory, there's value in scales, there's value in modes and all of that stuff, but the greatest teachers of any style that you want to learn is going to be real music. So sit down with some real music and listen and see if you can hear those principles in the music. So yeah, I just thought I would make a quick video about this because I'm, like I said, I'm recording other content right now, and I really wanted to get it off my chest. But these principles they're basic, and they're going to be at the heart of even the most complicated bass lines and bass riffs that you hear. So what I think you ought to do is, one, I think you ought to go on, even though all the days are not there yet, I think you should go on and sign up for that course. Also, I think you ought to watch that video right there and that playlist over there. Stick around a while. There's a lot of good stuff here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Two fingers.